Okay, here we are. We're all together. And there's Yuki. And it is, what's today? June 27th, 2017. And MawMaw 16. Oh, whoops, I should slow down. And MawMaw and Hopi came from Texas to visit us in Oregon. And we decided to ask some very important questions. MawMaw doesn't want to comply. She's going to. And you all who watch this, and if you're a Musachia or a Velada or originated from Musachia, we thought that you would enjoy learning a little bit more about our family. Okay, so MawMaw, what's your full name?
Louise Rose.
The best middle name ever, right? Rose. Louise Rose Musachia. And your maiden name was Velada. Okay. And what were your parents' names?
Sarah Velada. Should I say people?
She was Sarah Testa.
Velada.
Testa was her maiden name.
Yeah.
Then she married a Velada. And that was your dad.
Yeah.
What was your dad's name?
Joseph Anthony.
Joseph Anthony Velada.
Velada.
Okay. And then after he passed away when you were
what was that, 15? No.
I thought you were
14,
14. I thought you were around 14 or 15.
I think I was supposed to say 14 and 15. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then later she married
Who?
MawMaw Sarah married.
Oh, she married Frank Pizzatola, but that was after we were married.
Okay, we'll get to that story later.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, how did your parents choose your name?
Well, the way I heard it, they named me. My cousin was born first. You always go by their grandparents' name first, and her name was Della because grandma's name was Della. So when I was born, my grandpa's name was Louis. I forgot the middle name. Musachia. Velada. So I was named Louise, derived from his Louis, in other words.
Louise from Louis, because you named your child.
No, that was Velada. Yeah.
So, but MawMaw Sarah named you after her uncle?
Her father-in-law.
Oh, her father-in-law.
Yeah. My daddy's name was Thomas.
Joseph.
Thomas Joseph Musachia. See, I still got that on my name.
Joseph Frank.
Joseph Frank Velada.
Okay. And his dad's name was Louis.
Yeah, and that's where they got Louis.
So it was Louis Velada.
Yeah.
Was
my grandfather.
Your grandfather. Did you ever know your grandfather?
I was a baby. I don't think. I don't know.
Oh.
I remember grandma. Her name was Della.
Della, which was your dad's mom?
Yeah. And that's why my cousin her name was Della. And then I was the second one, because there were only two. They named me Louise after Louis, my grandfather.
And where did they come from? Sicily? Who came from Sicily?
Grandma Testa.
Okay.
And they came from the northern part of that was in New York, but I don't know exactly where they came from.
The Velada family.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were born, where were you born?
In Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn, New York. And when did you get to Texas?
I guess I was about 3 years old, I think. That would be, how old was I?
You were 3, so 33?
1930?
1930.
I was born in 1930.
Right.
And I got here about 33. Yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be about.
Okay, here's a fun one. What's the biggest trouble you ever got in?
Oh, Lord, how am I going to remember that?
Do you remember getting in trouble when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It was because we was drinking or what happened. I don't know. That's too long ago to remember.
Okay. What kind of home did you grow up in? Do you remember your home when you were little?
Yeah, it was just me.
It was just you? It
And
was
my mother
quiet.
and daddy. Yeah, it was quiet on. Yeah.
Was it a big home back then, or did it have a lot of land?
No, it was just a road. It was just the house that had 2 bedrooms and just a regular house, kitchen, dining room, old timey house.
An old-timey house. Who were some of your childhood friends?
Well, my best ones when I grew older was Norma Jean and Geraldine.
Norma Jean and Geraldine. And you were friends with them when you were younger?
Well, about 5 years old, 6 years old, somewhere in there.
Now, I remember as a kid playing with all my cousins. Did you play with was a lot of your...
Because I had Annette, Romana, Margaret Ann Mandola, Rosemarie Mandola. That was the 3 girls, yeah. But I was older than them, but we were, all coming down the line. Because my mother was the oldest, and she was the first one that got married.
Okay. And so you had cousins there in Texas, not all in New York. Did you ever visit New York after you...
I don't think we ever did that I can remember.
Do you remember what some of your chores were when you were a kid?
I was supposed to clean house.
Did you do it?
Did you do it like I did it?
I promise.
Or did you do it like my mom did it, or did you do it like Jeanette did it?
Oh, like your mom did it. Oh, and she'd tell me what to cook, and I was supposed to cook supper when they got home.
Well, that's
Because
nice.
she helped at Rosa in the grocery store, and at the time it was about a block and a half or whatever from where we lived. My grandma lived across the street.
Oh, your grandma lived across the street.
Grandma and Aunt Josephine, my Aunt Josephine.
You had an Aunt Josephine too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was the youngest, and we got along good because she used to get in trouble for getting me in trouble.
That sounds familiar. Okay, so that was your mom's sister. Your mom's
youngest
sister.
sister, yeah.
Your mom's younger sister lived across the street.
Yeah.
And then they
With her
were.
mama. Yeah,
Were.
they got married. Yeah, her and her husband, they got married and they lived with grandma.
Okay. What was your first job?
Well, I think I helped my mama when I wanted to, but if I didn't have time, I left.
Did she give you an allowance, or how did you did
No,
you
I
get
just
everything-
got money when I wanted.
You just got everything you wanted because you were an only child.
That's right.
And did Aunt Josephine, did your Aunt Josephine have kids?
Mm-hmm. Oh, my Aunt Josephine, yeah.
So that's probably one of the reasons I love my MawMaw so much, is because her middle name is Rose and my middle name is Rose, and we were both only children, so we understand each other.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So you worked whenever you wanted, but then you had a job after, right? Like you and Papa ran a store.
Yeah. But when I was supposed to be helping her, I'd help her until I didn't have time, and then I'd go home. I just did what I wanted.
So now, being born in the 30s and leaving New York, you left New York.
I left when I was 3 years old, and my aunts always teased because they remember when I got there, I said something about, how did they say it? Something about you Italian people or something. I don't know what I said. I forgot by now, but they said something about I used to come in. I came in and tell them something about, I guess I was telling them hello or something about you Italian people. That's all I knew. That's all I remember is Aunt Josephine always telling me I said that. Because my Aunt Josephine was the little devil. She was the youngest. Just like Aunt Josephine.
Because Aunt Josephine was the youngest. No.
Daddy
No,
Papa
Daddy
was
the
the
youngest.
youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it was just Aunt Josephine, Uncle Johnny.
She was the oldest.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you left New York, it was during the Depression.
Yes.
And so you went down to Texas. I mean, the Depression was still going on. So in the 40s, what were some of the things that kids would do teenagers would do for fun in the 40s?
I couldn't do much anything.
You couldn't do much of anything for fun?
I couldn't just go out. No. I couldn't just get out and go do something girls. They didn't live with them because everybody didn't have cars, you know. Then when I started driving a car, I could drive from home to the store from all.
And you didn't have TV. So what was?
We did get TV. No, we didn't. Because I remember my daddy was always trying to get things on the radio stations. That was a big deal.
Okay.
And we didn't get TV until I was married and had Jeanette. And we always had to be the first to get everything. So we bought us a little TV. And MawMaw, Musachia, and Papa used to come over every Friday night because they didn't have the TV. But here we couldn't afford it, but we had one. So he could come over and watch the fights. So that was.
Oh, who was fighting then?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me because I didn't even watch it.
Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay then.
I don't know. They used to have to watch the fights every Friday night and come over to our house and watch my little TV.
So this was the late 40s, early 50s?
Yeah, but it had to be in the 40s because I had Jeanette.
50.
50s, yeah.
Early 50s.
Early 50s because I had Jeanette.
So what was, nowadays they have like, there's family time. So we have board games or we have all these entertainment places we take our kids to or we watch movies. When you were a kid, like what can you remember doing with your mom and dad?
We used to play games, card games. What was it? Must have been Battle or all those kind of little games,
Okay.
That is something entertaining, I guess.
What was something that you can remember your mom teaching you?
Well, she tried to teach me how to cook, and I was supposed to get an allowance. And see, she worked for my aunt, and that was just a block or so away. And so I was supposed to go home and cook, have dinner ready. And so she'd tell me how to cook stuff, and I'd cook it, and if I had a problem, I had to call her up and see what to do. But that's what I was
When you would call her, would you have to call through an operator system?
No, we just dialed numbers.
There wasn't a switchboard then?
No, they didn't know what a switchboard was then, probably.
So now and y'all feel free to chime in. I'm not on the list anymore. Now, with your daddy dying at such a young age and very suddenly, I was probably about the same age when Papa died. But I can remember vividly very important and valuable things that I learned from him or very special memories that I have with him.
Yeah.
What would you say is can you share one of those memories you have of your dad?
I really can't right offhand remember anything. All I remember is I had a little white cat, and he was coming home from work, and he drove in the driveway, and my little cat bit, how they bite the tire, and it must have been rolling yet, and he ran over the cat.
Oh, no.
And I was so unhappy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember that. I can remember that.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I was supposed to get another one. I don't know what happened. I probably never did. I don't know.
Did he bring you gifts frequently from?
Oh, he was always buying me stuff, surprising me, whatever.
Oh, were you a daddy's little girl?
I guess, because I was the only one.
No, we'll make it.
And then Josie, MawMaw Sarah, when I got older, she was my buddy.
Daddy.
She'd get in trouble because Grandma would holler at her for things that she would teach me that I didn't need.
That you weren't supposed to know?
Yeah. Your mom would teach you things?
No, Grandma Josie.
Oh, Aunt Josie.
Yeah, she was the devil. No, we got along real good. So I know one time we were married and we lived next to, so Mama and Uncle Frank had gotten married and she moved. So we had a house right next door to Grandma Testa. And Aunt Josephine, she was something else. So
which one? Your Aunt Josephine or Papa's sister?
My Aunt Josephine, Mama's sister. She was the youngest. So I like her. She's always cutting hair, always doing something. So I wanted my hair cut. And we were married. And when Papa got home, he saw my haircut.
Because you cut
Because
your
I
hair.
couldn't cut my hair, you know.
But
We
you
weren't
weren't
allowed to
allowed.
cut our hair.
Uh-oh.
You weren't allowed to cut your hair.
No, because he
It was
liked
supposed to
long
be
hair.
long,
Yeah.
long hair.
But he
Yeah,
got
I
over
like
it.
long hair. Yeah, and Josette and Angelica, or Hope and Angelica, they have long
They still
hair,
like,
too.
yeah, y'all do.
You take after what Papa said.
Remember, Papa liked long hair. That's all you gotta
Yep.
remember.
Okay, how did you meet Papa?
Well, we went to Blessed Sacrament School, like Mount Carmel Grade School.
Okay.
And back there, then we all played outside at recess. And Papa used to be out there playing. The priest used to play with him.
The priest would play at recess?
Yeah,
Okay.
they'd get out there and play football and everything. And I couldn't stand him because he's just a big shot. And he was kind of the leader of the football, whatever, I don't know. So anyway, after I didn't see him for a good while, because I know he always said I got him in trouble because we had to go in class. And I don't know what happened, but he got in trouble for me. I don't know, passing by. I don't know if he talked to me or what happened, but I caused him to get in trouble. And then after that,
And then after that, he had his eye.
everything changed. I'll never forget. He says, "You're the one that caused me to get so much trouble with the nuns."
I have a feeling he probably got himself in trouble on his own.
Yeah, he was supposed to go in class, and he was outside talking to me. But the bell rang. You know how this is old time.
Oh, he was talking to you. And
Yeah,
that's why he was flirting with you.
Yeah.
And
That
got
was what-
himself in
yeah.
trouble. Okay.
Then I didn't see him for a long time.
After you got him in trouble. Okay.
Yeah. Then I left. I was ahead of him in school. He was kind of, you know.
Does he
He
drop?
didn't want to go to school. He quit school.
Okay.
Anyway, my cousin Annette, she went there. She was younger than me, and they were having it was the end of school play or whatever. And she liked this. What was his name? This boy. They were friends because they were in kind of the same class. And I'll never forget. They was coming down the stairs because it used to be stairs outside for the ups. We went to the 7th and 8th grade. And anyway, he was there that night with whatever, I forgot the boy's name anyway. So I don't know, we got to talking, then right after that, I think he called me up. Then they was having a picnic, Mount Carmel.
She's getting her costume.
Oh, Blessed Sacrament. They always went to picnic, went to Herman Park at the end of school.
Okay.
So I get to stay home from school. I was going to Austin High School to go on the picnic with Annette and my Aunt Rosa, her mother took us. So he was there. I forget this boy's name. That was supposed to be Annette's boyfriend. And we got on a boat. And we were playing on the boat and just having a good time.
Now, I remember one time, do you remember, it was a couple years ago, we ran into a gentleman at Kroger. And I think he was there that day. I remember you telling me about.
I must have. I kind of, but I can't remember who it was.
And you kept saying something about he had liked you and how you. I remember he walked up and said, "Oh, I'm so glad I didn't end up with him." He was out on that boat that day.
Yeah, there was somebody, but I can't remember who all they were. Yeah, because he kept chasing me, and I didn't like him. It worked out.
Well, Momo, you were one to be chased in all the pictures I've seen.
Then after we finally caught my mom and let us get married, only if we lived with her.
Well, that's quite the. I don't know if that would fly in this day and age, you know? I mean, that's pretty wild. Now, was that common then that people would get married and
I
stay
don't know.
with the parents?
I was lucky I got to get married.
And so nowadays it seems like people have grand women at least seem to have these big, they want to go and start a career, and they postpone
everything.
childbearing and all these things. Now, then, was it always just the desire of your heart, or was it common? Like, what about you said, I want to get married and have kids? Like, was that what you did?
Well, I mean, you don't think about getting married and having kids. You just want to get married. I mean, that's just how it comes up. Anyway, we did, but we had to live with her. And what happened was, over there on Canal, she had the grocery store over in Navigation. And on Canal, Tony DeBella's parents, I think, had the store and they were selling it. So she bought it, and we lived in back of the store. She lived there too with us. And we ran she's probably too busy, I guess. We ran the store, and then when she come home from her store in Navigation, she came over there. But we was always ready to run. Finally, she sold it because we weren't going to listen. I'll never forget one time it was somebody's birthday, and all Daddy's friends were there. Tiny, Tiny and all. I don't know if y'all probably don't know them.
I kind of remember.
Yeah, because they were all real good friends. So
they were friends through when you were growing up too, Mom, right?
Yeah,
because
they were around, but not very. Tiny wasn't around.
No, not as much. But I mean, it used to be all them. And
it was
anyway, several of the guys at the store, and I had made a birthday cake, and I had never made a birthday cake. And they were in the store.
Wait, how old were you?
Must have been 18. I guess 18.
Before you made birthday cake? Hopi.
You're
on a good track. I mean, if she was 19 before,
well, 18, I don't remember, but I know I was married, so it had to be after I was 18.
Okay, so what year did you get married to Papa?
What, 1949? I don't know.
49? Was it? 48?
49. January the 9th. I think it was 49.
1949.
Yeah, so all that went in there. So
then Jeanette was born in 1950.
And you were how old when you got married?
80? No.
Were you 19?
18, 19.
I always heard 18.
I think it's 18.
18. You had, that's right, because you had Jeanette at 19.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I made this birthday cake, all Papa's friends were at the store. And they were throwing this birthday cake all over the store. That's how it came out, because I never made one before.
They were throwing it around the store?
They were having fun. They were throwing it at not far, but I can remember them.
Was it a heart?
They were hard.
They didn't break. That was my first cake.
Before you married or after you married?
I was married.
Oh, you were married.
We had the store on that Canal, and she still had this. She had a store on Navigation. That's how we got her and Papa and Frank together. Because she keeps up with everything I do. I couldn't do nothing.
So you needed to entertain her.
No. So we both figured it out. We had a birthday. This was after Jeanette must have been a year old. We had a birthday. And usually then you had the family over, his mama and daddy and MawMaw.
And were y'all still living with MawMaw Sarah then?
That was before, because we lived in the duplex. And they all come over for the birthday.
Okay.
I think it was must have been Jeanette's birthday. See, this is all back and forth, but this is, Anyway, they come over for Jeanette's birthday. And see, we were trying to hook her and Uncle Frank together.
Because it was your mom and Papa's uncle. So it was his mom's sister or his dad's brother? I mean, his mom's brother. Okay.
And his wife had passed away.
This was still back in the day.
Yeah, his wife passed away. So we figured he used to go with my mother-in-law's because he was by himself. She had just passed away. And so we was going to try to get him together. So he come over for the birthday over at our house. We was in the duplex. And I don't know, somehow or other, they got to sitting in the living room talking. And then that Monday, when he come to the store, he came to the store, MawMaw's store that she had open, that she ran. And after that, they started, that was it. Then he started coming over and going over.
And
But
then
we
they
wanted
got
to get them
married.
together.
And
Yeah,
so you had an Uncle Pawpaw.
that's what the kid, that's what everybody called them when they were little.
You know what I love about my friend Cherry? She has an Uncle Pawpaw. Oh, she does? Or her mom does.
Yeah.
They have a similar story.
Because he was Uncle Frank. But then after they married, they had to call him Pawpaw. So he was Uncle Pawpaw.
Then we just dropped the uncle.
He was Pawpaw. Yeah.
He was Pawpaw.
He was Pawpaw.
And now, how long? So did you adopt him as like a stepdad, or I mean, by that time
We
you were
did
grown?
most of call him Uncle Frank.
Okay.
And then she moved. She moved in his house with him.
Oh, okay. And kept her other house as a rental, or?
Yeah, I can't remember what happened. She must. I know we didn't move back in.
Where did you go on your honeymoon?
New Orleans. That's where everybody went.
Tell me, what is something you remember about your wedding day?
Well, I don't remember everything. Good. What do you mean?
Well, what all do you remember? Tell us about your wedding day.
Well,
Who were some of your bridesmaids?
that's what I can't remember all. Oh, Aunt Josephine and Aunt Lynn. I had to get all the family. And yeah. Oh, Uncle Leon. I've got pictures of everybody. Uncle Leon and Aunt Josephine.
Both Aunt Josephine's.
Oh, you had your aunt in there too?
And Daddy's sister.
Yeah, Aunt Josephine and my Aunt Josephine. And I think Uncle Vincent was in there.
Mm-hmm. And Aunt Lynn.
And Aunt Lynn.
And
Was Rose Catherine and Annette, I think.
Okay.
Now, were weddings real expensive back then?
Well, you can't hardly compare it because.
But in relation to just income and cost.
Well, I tell you the truth, it wouldn't be as extravagant as they have today. It was just a normal wedding.
In the Catholic Church.
Yeah. And we had dinner.
And you had to. And was there a lot of people there? Was it
yeah, it was a lot of people. All folks of our families. And then back then they used to have big engagements.
Oh.
Instead of a shower or whatever, then you had big engagements, and that was a big party.
A big engagement party.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Papa's family, who came from Italy?
Papa Musachia, they always talk about him coming in on a boat or something, ship or boat.
Through Galveston?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, through Galveston.
Yeah.
And then what about on your family's
Oh,
side?
no, he came over, I guess on the airplane or whatever.
Your daddy did?
Yeah.
When he was older or when he was young?
Oh, that was when, no, because they were in New York, so I don't know how they got there.
How they got to New York?
Yeah, I mean.
Or were they born in New York?
No, his family all come from New York. His family had a sand and gravel. His daddy had a sand and gravel company, like what is it? Yeah,
for roads and buildings and.
That's what he had. That's all I can remember. That was too far back for me to even know what was going on.
In Brooklyn, wasn't it? Brooklyn.
Yeah, because then we was in Brooklyn. Yeah, we stayed there.
Now the Italians were known for being in the mob.
In the mob
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Was there any? Were any of our family involved in any mob activity?
No, but we would ask both of them. We'd ask Daddy, and he'd go, "That was your mom's side of the family."
Yeah.
So we'd ask Mama, and she'd go, "No, that was your dad's side of the family."
So nobody knows what.
But it was funny how the family had a cola bottling plant. And then during Prohibition, there were things
they were bottling cola.
Yeah, maybe
not. Things weren't nothing like they are today. You could get by with anything, I'm sure. But I don't remember that. There's some things I can really remember, but some things I don't really take.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I remember when we went to Herman Park, and that's how we got together. When Annette had their in the school, they used to go to Herman Park.
All right. So now name your children. Who are your children?
What?
And when when were they born?
And Jeanette was born in 50, Johnny 53. Who's next? Me. Sarah 55. JoJo 50. What? 4. And
No,
wait,
57.
53.
53.
How JoJo?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
You're 57. Then 55, 53.
No.
But
We're going the wrong way.
Yeah, we're going the wrong way.
it was 64. All I remember is 50, 55, like 50, 53, 55, 57, 59, and
Stevie.
64.
Tommy.
Yeah. 59 is Stevie.
57 is
54.
JoJo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way I can go.
You got to go backwards. So there was how much difference between Tommy and Stevie? How many years difference?
I don't
59.
think it wasn't quite 2
64.
years apart. I don't
4.
think.
Between Stevie
59
and Tommy.
and 64 is 5 years.
Yeah, it was 4
4.
years.
It was
4 years. 4 years. It was
4.5 years.
Okay. And did you plan all of your children, or like did you try? Were you like now you're trying to conceive and everybody?
No, not really. I don't know. It just kind of.
If it happens, it
just
happens, and if it
Sorta,
doesn't,
yeah.
it doesn't. Now after
That's
Tommy, were you preventative?
Oh, then you start watching it. That's enough.
The quiver is full of them.
Daddy would always say, from me on down were accidents.
So they only wanted Jeanette and Johnny.
After that, we were all accidents.
So what were and everybody was born, well, once you moved in to the house on Prentice.
We moved in the house on Prentice, what, in 1950. We
Wow.
built the house. See what happened, we were looking for a house. Because we was living in Mama's house.
Yeah.
Papa
We were looking for a
Musachia
house.
and Papa Musachia was looking for ground because he liked to work in the yard. So he used to go around and look all the time. And he found this big lot in Garden Villas.
And there was an up and coming development that was
Yeah,
out in the
well,
country,
it was,
kind of, or?
though it hadn't really got started good then. It was just a little, and he had a lot of vacant lots, and it was sort of country. And he just loved it. He fell in love with it.
Did they
He
have
bought
the big pecan trees then? Or?
Well, they were, but they weren't like they are now.
Okay.
And all 3 houses, that was one big old lot.
There was one lot,
Yeah.
and you could divide it.
Yeah, so he bought the lot, and we were looking everywhere. So then he come up and said he wanted everybody there where he was anyway. He said he'd sell us each a third of it. And Aunt Josephine had to pick the end, because that's what I wanted. And we got the middle in between MawMaw and her, and we had the middle. But I wanted to be on the end.
So how did the sublot?
Well,
Well, how did the sublot behind? Like, what part? Because it's almost divided into 4, right? Because there's
there's
the corner, yours,
Josephine.
and then the other. So did Aunt Josephine make that fence to make the pool and separate?
Oh, that was
that?
all. See, that was just all ground. But they separated it, and we got papers so we could build our house, and she got her papers so she could build her house.
Okay.
And Papa kept the corner. He got the biggest part.
Mm-hmm.
So the pool didn't come in until, what happened, we had 2 or 3 kids, and we were looking for over-the-ground food from Sears, and it didn't come in. And Aunt Justin was big and wouldn't go out in public in a bathing suit, swimming. So Daddy, he could conquer anything.
Now back then, there weren't really a lot of big people, right? I mean,
She's always been huge,
But I mean, like it wasn't. Now it's very common and very acceptable and part of just.
Yeah, she was big. She was in our wedding. She was big.
And so that would be really hard, I think, just to be a different side, like, to
well, that's
to
why
hear
she
that
wouldn't
she
go
would,
anywhere or do anything because she didn't want.
that's sad.
So what happened at the time? She had hurry up and pick the corner of that where they're living, and we winded up with the middle, and Papa and Mama winded up the corner.
Okay.
Which worked out okay. We get started. So after we had 2 or 3 little kids, I think. And we was looking for a food over the ground, and it didn't come in at Sears. So I don't know how it was, but Papa could talk and Josephine and anything, I think. So,
because he was her baby.
Yeah, he was the youngest. Yeah.
Okay.
So he talked her, and they were talking about the pool or something. Because we was going to go put it in our yard. And I don't know how it come about that she wanted, in her yard. And he said, well, I'll put the fence up. You put the pool in your yard. You see, she had to keep it up and everything.
She paid.
So, yeah, she had no
But
money
she
to
was
win
happy
it.
to. She loved it.
She wanted it.
Now, and then Uncle Johnson used it for his insurance because he needed therapy on his.
Yeah, see, he could get something out of it. So,
but they also used it that if you had to go swimming, you had to come say hi to them before you. Oh yeah, you don't remember this one. You had to go before you could get in the pool or do anything with the pool.
She had to
go over there and dote on them for a while and do something and
and then they splash water out of that pool all over other. You don't splash water all over.
Yeah, you could splash.
And we paid for half the water anyway. You don't know. You don't know all. Well, we had a time back there years ago.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
There were a lot of parties.
And then we had a gate going into the pool from my yard, and we had that gate on the other side, so Aunt Joseph, because she was living with MawMaw Musachia, so she had to get in our yard to go to her pool.
Oh, she had to walk through your yard to go to
and she had rented her house out, but she had closed it up where they couldn't get in the pool.
Oh.
So, and we used all our water to fill it up.
Oh,
do you remember when they dug the hole and all the cave-ins? Because I was little and I remember the cave-ins.
I think
it caved in, the pool did?
Whenever they were building.
When they built it, they dug out the pool, dug out the hole, and you had to have such a big hole in Houston.
Because you're already below sea level.
Yeah, right, and the ground's kind of, and so it would cave in, they'd have to dig some more, and it would cave in.
And then the boys would get out of the pool and go somewhere in the corner teaching. So we had to put it,
the outhouse. There's the outhouse.
That's where the outhouse
Is
come
there
up.
still an outhouse? No.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it's all, it finally tore down. It finally fell out.
Oh, it was gone.
Everything back there.
Oh,
Well,
that's
it was
cool.
old anyway. But then,
Falling off.
yeah, so we had to put a toilet, bathroom out there. So, and then you had to have a shower. Because then, it kind of city, like big, up in.
Okay.
Shower before you got in the pool?
Yeah.
Like we never did.
Oh, well,
I still don't.
oh,
I know.
that was a joke. Right? I was leaving on the just so you know.
Oh, my.
Oh, and every so often, Papa and them have a fight. He get mad if he bothered it, if they said something up to his kids that wasn't necessary, about them going in the pool. They'd Papa get mad. He'd come all
I'll drain the pool.
No, Johnson not drink
Yeah,
it.
he's
He
gonna drain
it. He's not draining it. He drains it. He don't know.
Uncle
Country.
would say he drained it.
Drain it.
Drained it.
Drained it.
He didn't say drain. He said dream. We used to tease about that.
I laugh because every morning he would wake up,
Check.
and sneeze.
Yeah.
And Uncle Johnson, achoo!
Yeah,
You would hear him?
Oh,
Yeah,
next
the
to
whole
my
neighborhood.
window. My bedroom was right there in his driveway. He'd get into his car and go to work.
Yeah, because they lived in Mom's house.
And he'd wake you. And y'all didn't have AC back then? Air conditioner back
Not when.
We just had window
It
units.
didn't matter. You could still hear
then?
him.
Well, I can remember going hunting with Pawpaw and Uncle Johnson. And I thought like there was a tornado or something. I was like, Pawpaw, something's wrong. It's just Uncle Johnson. Just go back to sleep. I was like, the whole trailer was shaking. Well, my window would shake.
They were, we'd get so mad, then all they'd go, we wouldn't let the kids go to the pool anymore. They was mad at them. And then Josephine had to come over there and start hollering because she was all upset because we wouldn't let anybody go in the pool. And it's all on account of Uncle Johnson.
Oh.
It was so loud, but we made it.
So what were some special memories about your children?
Some of those big ones I remember.
Anything you want to that stands out?
Well, I don't know at the time, but what went on, let's see, what went on at the time.
Let's think about Jeanette. Was there any accomplishment or anything that was just really funny about Jeanette or anything about her personality? Or
Oh, that's what they were all dressed. Yeah, she had, what was her name? Oh, golly. Wait. Andrea? No.
Did it begin with an M? Mary?
when she watches this, she's going to be shouting at the screen.
We know her name.
Okay, that girl.
Paula. Yeah, Paula Russo. They were
Russo.
Yeah.
Was this related to Mary Russo? No. Okay.
There's a lot of reasons.
Now, were all the Italians, did all the
kids
Italians stay
Yeah, that could have
friends
been. I
with
don't know.
Italians? Like back then, was it common that, you know, your origin or your culture, you kind of stayed connected to your culture?
Well, not really. We had all kinds of things. We had all white people friends.
But you were still close with family.
Well, not really. I mean, yeah, we did with the family, but I mean, all our friends didn't have, and Josephine ran around with all the Italian girls.
Okay.
But no, we didn't. We had our white people friends.
Now, during that time, that was, you know, there was a lot of controversy over whites versus blacks, and especially in the South.
Yeah, see, that was
So
it.
what was that like for I mean, what do you...
Papa didn't pay attention to it. He had black friends that he worked with, guys that were real good. Yeah, no.
No, he always was engrafting of every culture and every person.
Everybody was welcome. Yeah, no, that was...
I think that's one of the traits that I appreciate so much about my upbringing is that everyone is welcome and embraced, and every door is open and every meal has enough for everyone. And
that's right. Yeah.
You know, if not, we'll find something to make more. But come on in.
Yeah.
And, you know, that seemed to be very
Oh,
much
God,
like,
every night for supper, you don't know who else is going to have it.
We weren't allowed to go anywhere for dinner. We had to be home.
They had to go for supper. So whoever they had, they drug them home. And it's okay. Especially Johnny had, David, Elizondo.
Remember JoJo had the kid, Speedy Ellison.
Yeah.
Kid across the street, he had a trampoline. So we were friends with him.
Every night for supper, you don't know. And then on top of that, Mary Schultz and her husband, he was a pilot. And it seemed like we were friends, but it seemed like every night at summertime they had to come over. So I had a house full of kids, and then they come sit their chair at the end of the table while we ate supper.
and did they eat?
No, they didn't want to eat. They just come to visit. But they came and they knew the time to eat up. Like they came.
Now people still seem to do that at your house, though.
Yeah,
They knew everybody was there. Everybody was together, and it was time to.
But I never knew how many kids I was going to have for supper. David Elizondo was almost a steady.
Huh. Okay.
And just like that time that Johnny had motorcycle accident and hurt his leg. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
And Jeanette was in the hospital. She had just had Michael. Remember?
You mean he broke his neck?
That's what's
That's the
wrong.
neck. That's, yeah. One time it was a motorcycle. Anyway,
was
yeah,
a
it was a neck,
motorcycle.
yeah. And so happened that night, we went to the Debbie was with him, and they had come home. He was laying in bed, so we finally got him to the hospital.
He was married to Debbie then.
No, they were just dating.
Okay.
Then David Elizondo, this Dr. Elizondo, he was different. And David was sneak everywhere. So we went to the hospital, and Johnny was in the hospital, and Jeanette was having Michael on the other end of the hospital. Trying to find out. David Elizondo had climbed out the window upstairs. They lived right across the street from the city, you know, where all those big houses on the right. I think the bayou, they moved them all, you know, the bayou.
Okay.
Dr. Elizondo lived there, and David was up there, all the boys were upstairs. And I don't know how
That big White House on the corner, right?
Not on the corner,
It
it
was
was further and down.
I used to like a boy that lived in that.
Well, what happened was, we found out David was in the hospital, and he had a motorcycle accident. Johnny and David and Jeanette, and who else was there?
We're all in the same hospital.
Thank goodness for
And
Southeast.
somebody, the police come to the house, Dr. Elizondo's house, and told him that his son had an accident, and he's in the hospital. Dr. Elizondo said, my boys are all upstairs and saying, David was up there.
David would tie a rope and throw it out the window,
And cut
and
it out
then
the
make his
window.
brothers pull it up, and then
Oh God. Andrea must have, Campisi must have learned how to because she taught me. We would unscrew the lights in the hallway, so when they turned on the lights, we were in bed, they couldn't find us. We'd stuff the bed. There was even one time we were out front the house watching ourselves get caught. We had snuck out, and we listened. And went, Mary, where's the girls? Well, they're in their bed. No, they're not.
Just like Dr. Elizondo told us, my boys are all upstairs in bed. Oh, God, but we didn't go through those. It was a bad house.
I can only imagine. There's 4 boys.
And like I said, I never knew who I was going to have for supper.
Oh.
And then this Roy and what's her name, had to come over every night at supper time and pull their chairs up and talk to us while we were eating supper.
They just like to be with you. Well, no, I mean, the Musachia family was like famous in the neighborhood.
I think it was.
we were known. Let's put it that way.
Well, and wasn't it recently that somebody got in an accident and the only phone number they remembered to call for help was your phone number?
That wasn't recent. It was a while back, but it was like 30 years after, you know,
Everybody was grown and out of
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
And some guy was,
One of Johnny's friends or something.
or
wasn't it?
somebody we knew, and that was the only, he was dying, I think.
The only phone number
They
you
all-
remembered was your phone
They
number.
all found, everybody found us.
So you've had the same phone number ever since you got a phone, really, right?
But it used to be Mission,
Yeah, mission 645-3666.
but it was Mission 53666
Uh-huh.
because 64 was MI.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
they
that's
would
right.
give you, like, they would say it was mission, or they'd have other words that began, you know, like if you were RE, it was read or something like that. Read for. So it was the first two
Yeah,
letters.
somebody might be trying to sleep and work
No,
No,
they're
no.
not. They're fine.
Relax.
We don't have anywhere to go. You're good.
It's time to go home. Oh.
Okay, so you worked at the grocery store, and then
Well, I had time, but I had to go somewhere.
you didn't have a schedule.
She tried selling.
Yeah. Wait, tell us about that. So then you stayed home with the kids primarily.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, was it Avon or Mary Kay? I thought it was Mary Kay.
Avon.
Okay.
I
How long did that last? I
an
heard
hour. I decided I didn't want to go back home.
Did you go to a meeting or were you having to knock on doors?
Yeah, you had to go to doors. I went to a meeting, I think. I had all my equipment. And I had a place to go. I said, I don't want to do it.
Were the kids still at home then? Or
No, they were at school. I just did that when they were at school after I got rid of
Okay.
everybody.
and what about Tupperware? Did you have Tupperware parties?
Oh, I always had trouble.
Okay.
I had every Tupperware piece.
You still have I love the ones that like snap, like they have the fan lid and it like snaps. And then I can remember so many like leftover delicious meals heated up in those brown square with the handles, those are all Tupperware. I know, they're the best. I wish I still had Tupperware working.
I know it.
I don't think they're in business anymore.
I know they are. Yeah, they are. It's got a little more highfalutin.
No, I don't know. I've
It's
never
not
seen
like
it. Okay, so now you were raised Catholic and you raised the kids Catholic. How do you feel like that's affected your life, your faith?
I mean, right from wrong. What else? You don't do nothing wrong. These are wrong. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
So it helped develop a conscience.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And to show you, like, to live for God or.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now your mom brought you up Catholic also. Right?
Oh, definitely. She's the one because I wouldn't have done anything if she had
Okay.
mad at me or make me do it.
Okay.
My cousin Annette and I we were 5 years difference. But I was the only child and she was the only child. So we were together quite a bit. But they had money and we didn't.
Oh, okay.
They had to grow, he had money, his family had money.
Her dad
Her
or her husband.
Annette's, dad's family, in other words.
Okay.
So, anyway. Yeah, we were together, but she was 5 years younger than me.
Oh, she was 5 years younger than you?
Yeah, she wanted to be grown.
Okay.
But they're the ones that had money and we didn't. Well, we made it.
What did you do to get through the difficult times in your life?
Well, what do you call a difficult time?
I don't know. I mean,
well, for one thing, Papa brought his paycheck home every week and gave it to me, and I had to stretch it.
okay. And now you guys have seen a lot of war. You've seen a lot of unsettling in the nation.
Oh, yeah.
You lost your husband. You lost your mom. Your mom passed away.
Yeah, right.
And
that just goes along with life. What are you gonna do?
So where did you do for comfort in those times? Like, where did you draw strength? Or
I just fought all the problems out the best I could.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing else to do.
Just survive and keep going and
That's it. You gotta go. See, I had to take over after Papa died. I had to, because I just leave that to whatever, and I had to make my own decisions. I did it.
Your boys come kiss me good night.
There's just a little fun. Are we making too much noise?
We're making a special video and asking one more questions.
I hope you're not taping all that. Oh my God.
One more kiss. We will get to watch it, I promise. Kiss Mama. Good night. Good night. Thank you so much for your video. Come on. Spider-Man.
Okay, we're going to see y'all.
Go your Nana. Go kiss your Nana. Good night. Okay, good night, Mama.
She did. He didn't
The dinosaur's over.
Mom, we're not going to bed until the good dinosaurs.
Oh, really? Okay. Hey, Luke.
Oh, I've been babysitting
Good night, Charlie.
grandkids from the time they got started.
Yeah, you raised me. Partially, too.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Everybody.
Lukey, your bunk is on the couch, baby. Right by Jimmy.
You get out?
No, right here, Lucas. This couch. Right here, baby. Right there. Okay, tell me about some of your holiday traditions.
Well, you same thing here every year, I guess.
Where'd you learn that? I mean, where did you, did
Well,
your
I
mom do
well,
that?
yeah, you just follow behind what your mom does. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, like, you know, the homemade bread.
Yeah, oh yeah, I had to do that. That's what I have to.
And then,
And then the neighbors would all couldn't eat bread, and the kids, all their friends would come over because they knew when I had it because you could smell it or whatever.
and then Papa would do deer sausage, homemade deer sausage.
That was around Christmas time. We were real busy.
Uh-huh. And then now, when the kids were little, did everybody get presents, or how
Yeah.
did Christmas morning happen?
Well, Santa Claus came and we got them to bed,
Okay.
and everybody had their section. Yes.
Okay.
And remember how Daddy would set up the lights and the camera. And we would just
Yeah, ready for when they walked in the door.
turn on the, yes. And then we would open the door, the back door to the living room. There were two doors.
Because it wasn't a big open space
No.
then? Okay.
And we would go in the back, and he would film all of us coming in, and we would be half asleep in these, I mean, bright
And just standing there half asleep looking at
with,
it.
yes, so there's 8mm videos of us walking in the room with bicycles, with ribbons, and
They all got
presents, and,
bicycles all
yeah,
over the place.
they were-
Yeah.
Now, it seems like everybody in the family makes like holidays and birthdays a big deal. I mean, like, that's
They
always been
do. That's the big deal.
a big deal that you've created and that they've carried on. And I know I've carried, like, you know, Alex is always like, that wasn't part of his upbringing, but it was such a big part of mine. And so holidays and celebrations are a time for gathering and coming together.
Yeah.
And like, that seems like something that you and Papa did.
Oh yeah. Well, we had all our friends over before Christmas Eve, so we had sort of like a Christmas party.
Okay.
We had a bunch of friends. All our friends.
who was the couple? They had 2 sons and Ralph and
The ones that you had to get up and hurry up and eat your pizza before they showed up.
no, those were different people.
I can remember Christmas Eve. Oh, the phone ring and they'd say, "This one family's on their way. You better come get your pizza before they get there."
Y'all who that was?
Yeah.
George and Cindy. You know George and Cindy.
I don't know who they were, but I can just remember I'd be in the other room playing and I'd hear that and I'd run, get my pizza.
George and Cindy. George is that great big fat guy. I don't know how he did it. He worked with slips, and how he did it, I don't know. That's
Didn't Tommy say?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tommy gave him that dish. It's a bowling ball with a pimple on the top.
A pea, wasn't it a pea?
I think it was a pimple on the top.
That's your dad.
Extra day when you say it.
It's a bowling ball. It was the
Yeah,
bowling
you
ball
remember?
with the pimple on top. He gave it to her.
No, that's
That
what
wasn't.
he called.
That wasn't.
That's how he would describe.
We like to die when he come up with that. He used to be a good little boy. I don't even know.
When? I don't know when. He used to wake up every night in the middle of the night and scream for his mother.
He was a mama's baby.
Well, he used to have to wear braces on his feet
we did?
Yeah.
He was like Forrest Gump?
No, he only had to wear them when he slept.
Just
And
at
it-
night, because it turned in.
So he had to turn
Straighten
his
it out.
feet out. And so she would strap his feet in this braid,
That could have been very
shoes.
comfortable.
It was when he was younger. It didn't bother him that long.
When he first started, less
Yeah,
than
when
a
he
year.
was, yeah, when he
And
was
then
a
he
baby,
was-
so, yeah,
Up until about 2, I guess.
yeah. That was good.
All right. What's your favorite color? We know this one.
Red.
What's your favorite flower?
Oh.
You don't have one? If you were looking at a store and saw flowers, which one would you buy? The mixed one.
Wow, like that. I mean, there's so many pretty flowers. I can't say exactly. The roses. I like the carnations and roses or whatever.
Tulips. You like tulips?
Yeah.
You always comment on the big hanging baskets of the tulips.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, something like that.
What about a favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
Not really, because I start books and then I'll finish
But
them.
her favorite movie.
What's your favorite?
Oh, Gone with the Wind. Which one?
And Under the Tuscan Sun.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That's the one I like. Yeah, more than that other.
What about favorite songs?
Slow Boat to China.
A Slow Boat to China.
That was our song.
Okay, sing it.
Let's see. Happy Boats. Slow Boat to China. I think I have it. I might have that.
I'll find it on my phone later. That was you and Papa's song?
Uh-huh.
And when did you establish your song?
Well, I always liked it, so when I go on a dance, I go on away. We left.
Oh.
At their wedding.
It was so romantic.
Oh. Was Papa a romantic? Was he romantic?
Oh, he was really. He was always this.
You buy you stuff
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and what did he do to when he was gone? When he was gone with working and you were home with the kids,
I worked all
what did
day.
he do when you would come home to? I don't know, Alex will rub my feet or help do the dishes.
I didn't rub my feet.
Like, what did he do?
He didn't help do any
How did
dishes.
how did he romance you? Did he buy you stuff or?
He brings stuff now and then, but he kiss me or whatever. And I'd always be cleaned up and have my face makeup on, so I look decent when you come home.
That's a good lesson right there, though.
Oh yeah, I always had to look.
And did you some days Alex comes home and I think some moms nowadays are like, here, take the kids. So when he came home, was it like you had dinner ready
Well, he didn't. No, he come home early. It's too early
for dinner?
Yeah, I had everything already.
So you would let him relax,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
and he would
whatever
smoke.
had
Would he
to
smoke
do.
his pipe then, or?
Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he
Did he
smoked
smoke a-
cigarettes
did he smoke a
until
That, yeah, then he was smoking cigarettes, and then later on in years, I think he smoked pot. Yeah.
after his
So he'd
wife
come
died.
home and relax, and
I get him a glass of iced tea. That was his.
at 3 o'clock.
As long as I had the iced tea, he was satisfied. So, but I never would look raggedy and messy like I've been working all day. So I hurried up and cleaned up and makeup on and my hair combed before he got home.
Oh, and were you dress
No.
I picture women in the 50s with their skirts and
No,
looking all
no.
perfect, in the house and
No,
a
if I had
platter.
shorts- As long as I was clean, I had shorts on or whatever, but I was clean and I had my hair combed and I had to have my makeup
Okay.
on. My lipstick, because I didn't wear a lot.
Well, you had to have your lipstick on before you went in the pool, too.
I sure did.
What about your favorite food?
Oh gosh, what would be our favorite food? Don't ask me.
I couldn't answer that question either. I like all food.
I know one thing she would like would be pork chop bones dipped in the
What was
sweet
that?
potato. Great, because she would make sweet potatoes with the syrup and the marshmallows on top.
You know, candy sweet potatoes. And if I had pork chops, I'll just put that. So it's good.
Ooh.
What about favorite pets?
Well, that was like a little Pomeranian, I guess.
What was his name?
Well, one of them was, what was the first one's name? One he bought me.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
I mainly remember Dolly.
Yeah, Dolly.
But there was Cricket before Dolly, and then there's another one.
Yeah, what was it? Pudding.
I think it was Pudding.
It's a little bitty Pomeranian. I think he bought it for me for Christmas. Yeah. Gosh, that was early before we had any kids, because after I had kids, I was scared they'd get germs. I didn't get rid of it, but I wouldn't. Yeah, but didn't have the baby. It was so cute.
Now, Dolly, so you loved Kenny Rogers, and Papa loved Dolly Parton.
But before that, it was Dean Martin.
Oh, it was Dean Martin.
Well,
yeah.
Dean Martin, he was a hottie.
He was
Right.
good, yeah.
And then Daddy was more Sophia Loren.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was gorgeous.
Right.
Got
Oh,
it.
sexy. That's
Now, wasn't it Dolly? Was it Dolly Parton that brought Papa up on stage?
No, that
who
was
Oh,
Mandra. No,
Barbara Mandrell.
Ronnie
Hey,
Mo-
Dan,
Wasn't
yeah.
there a video of that? Who has
Yeah.
that video?
we all did, but I lost mine.
I should have it
You
somewhere.
probably have it on VHS. We need to convert that.
We gotta
Okay,
find
Lily,
it.
that's your project.
We like-
Let's keep
we
going
like
forward.
to die. We like to die because we were sitting there and we saw her keep looking out the audience.
And that was in Branson.
Yeah.
Right?
And she saw him and she pointed him and he come up on stage and danced with her.
And she's saying, "It had to be you. It had to be you." And she gave him the little feather.
No,
Okay,
no,
no,
Okay,
okay.
so the orange feather thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. Yeah.
She gave him that, and she put it around him, and
Yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah. And I had it on my shoulder and went to the bathroom and all the ladies were hollering. I had it on my shoulder.
You were famous. Part of the show. Well, and didn't everybody think that that was staged or something?
They did.
That's
They
because
did.
Papa did such a good job.
Yeah, because he was dancing with her. And there he was smoking. He exerting himself and he had heart trouble. And just when I like to die.
Yeah, he got handicapped seating because of his heart condition. And he gets on the stage and dances.
Oh goodness. Okay. What was the hardest part of being a parent for you?
Oh. Well, trying to be rough and say no when I'm not supposed to. And that's why I get in trouble all the time because then Papa would holler at me for giving in to him like you weren't supposed to do, you're doing it.
So he was the disciplinarian. And
Yeah, because I said, just wait and ask your daddy. Then he'd get mad at me because I send them all to him to make a decision. You got to make a decision, not me all the time.
But he would only tell us to go to you when it was
Yeah.
yes. If it was no, he didn't have any problem with saying no.
He didn't want to give in and say yeah.
But if it was yes, he'd go ask your mom.
Yeah.
what was your favorite part of being
Oh, golly. Well, having all these kids, I guess. I wouldn't have had that many.
a parent? Because now we've counted it a few times. We can't count. Oh, we'll count it.
But
The count. I've counted.
Well, she's a great grandmother to two.
yeah.
Okay, your mother of 6, a grandmother I think to 19.
That was the last.
That's the last count.
Yeah.
Because Jeanette has 2.
Okay, now Jeanette's got quite a few.
No, she still has 2 kids.
Yeah, but she got grandkids.
Okay, but we're grandkids. So next generation. Jeanette has 2. Johnny has Justin and Katie. So that's 4. Sarah has me. That's 5. JoJo has 4.
2, 3, 4.
That's 9. You keep counting. I'll tell you who it is. Jeanette, Johnny, Sarah, JoJo. Stevie has 1. Tommy has 4.
Yeah.
That's 14.
Yeah.
Oh, plus steps.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, plus steps. So then you add in Chris and Amber because they grew up
And
there.
their kids, their 2 kids.
Well, not their 2 kids yet. Hold on. So that's
16.
16. And then Johnny, there's no steps really anymore. Me, none. JoJo, none. Stevie, none. Tommy, none. Okay, there we go. So where did I get
Yeah,
19?
Tommy's got grandkids.
But
No,
look,
we're
we're
not doing
on that.
Okay, so the great grandkids. So
Okay.
Jeanette has, oh Lord,
See, that's
Dawn
so
has
common.
3. Michael has 3, 6. Chris has 2. Amber has 1. Okay, Johnny. Katie has 2,
2 or
3.
I think 3.
3. I have 2. Okay, JoJo has, well, more than 1. I don't know how many kids his daughters have.
Oh, yeah.
14. Okay, then Thomas just had a baby.
So this.
I don't know how many anymore because I need to stop talk to.
I don't know. Okay, but no. This is no. Okay, who are we at? JoJo. Stevie, his daughter has 2 boys and a girl, so 3. 2 girls. She has 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
Because the 2 boys came to MawMaw's birthday, and then she just had a girl, but not long before she died. And then your sister Josette has Roger.
Aaron has 2.
Aaron has 2.
Yeah.
21.
21 known great grandchildren. And then great,
Yeah, we got great.
There's 2 great-greats.
and those are Brittany's.
No.
Correct.
Brittany's the only one that has
Great-great.
Great.
great. Because there's you, Jeanette, Dawn, Brittany, and Brittany's kids. So there's 5 current generations. And Brittany was the one that had 5 generations of MawMaw Sarah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite part of being a parent is you got a lot of kids and you raised almost all of us.
Grandkids.
Yeah, at one point in time. What was your most favorite vacation?
Oh, golly. That's a pretty good one. I know the one we went to Mexico that time, and we took Herbert with us. And I don't know what happened. I think we had slid or something. We hit one of the railings in the motorhome. We thought he was going over the front. We didn't. And so we were supposed to fix the road that we messed up. So Herbert went out there and found the alleys and the alleys and him took him to the top of the alleys. We come back up and go, we can go.
Now that's when the motorhome almost went over the cliff. And that seems like that would maybe be the craziest, but somewhat of the most memorable
You remember, yeah.
vacations.
Because we didn't really realize it was that bad. I mean, but then we started, it slid. I don't know really what happened. It started sliding and hit the pole at the end, which you could have went over the
But, oh, Lord. Now, when did
And
y'all?
then the next day, we got it going and went into the town because we were going to Mexico. And we got into the town, and there was a shop there that we drove up to, and they fixed stuff. And then Sarah, you and I were out shopping, weren't we?
That sounds like
You
y'all.
were in trouble because Daddy was like, here we are. We don't even know if we're going to be able to get out of the country. We're in, we're broken down. And what are you doing? You're out buying pots. What are we going to do with pots? And we were like, but Daddy, they were only 45 cents. It was handmade. It was so good.
So,
Oh goodness, this has been going on forever. So this just never, I know.
you never get a book out of all that. And then when we used to go to the market in Monterey, everybody knew her because she's the only one that had a job and she was buying everything.
Okay, you know what's funny about that? When I was 17, we went down to South Padre with my best friend Samantha and her mom. And I had just taken 4 years of Spanish, so I was fluent in Spanish. And so we went across the border into Progreso, and we were buying stuff from the little kids, and I was speaking Spanish with the little kids. Well, the next day or 2 days later, we went back into the town, and all the little kids, Natalia, 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 they come running down to sell me stuff. And so I can remember because they knew me because I was buying everything.
We would go into the market, and so I'd go and ask one lady how much this onyx chess set was or something like that. And then I'd go down to the market, and they would run down, and that was their relatives that owned the other store, and told them
give up the price.
But yeah, they knew. And Daddy would pay them to watch the car because you would pull up to on the road.
Oh, I thought you were sleeping. We made too much noise.
They just got us. What do you
Lucy
think?
wants to do it.
Not right now, baby. Okay.
Please?
Hold on.
Go ahead, you do it in a minute.
So Alex asked you this night. And asked you, he's slamming Spider-Man.
Oh.
Alex asked you the night. What was your favorite season of your life?
Asked you.
No, asked you. And you told him. Do you remember what you told him? When was the best season of life? Like, was it your like now when the kids were young, when you were a child, and you said about when Papa retired or got disability.
Yeah.
And y'all became members of Marina Village.
That's what we really had. Yeah,
And that was before MawMaw Sarah was living with you, and just you two being, because I mean, having kids so young, you never really had
we
like.
never were on ours.
So that was your first chance, and then you started. Like the family still would join you, and
Oh yeah.
camping.
And I had to have the house perfectly clean every day. So I just worked all day. Now I'll start things. Then Mocha wants me, so I gotta go sit down and take a nap.
Mama, okay.
So what are some personal experiences that especially touched your heart?
That's kind of hard.
That's a big question. For 85 years.
I don't have to go remember Mom.
You've been to a lot of weddings, met a lot of babies.
Oh, maybe you can think of some. I don't know.
That's all right.
There was a lot of good ones.
Maybe we'll come back around. You can think about it tonight before you go to bed. All right, what are your favorite things to do now?
Well,
At 85, what's your favorite thing to do?
well, it's the same old thing, shopping and going to Walmart.
Yeah, we just taught Hope today about what Papa used to say about burying him in the Walmart parking lot so she'd go. Okay. What do you hope for your children and grandchildren?
Well, that they be successful and have a happy life and don't be struggling.
And what do you want to be remembered for?
Oh, that's kind of hard. What would it be? No, I think it's something.
Well, I can tell you have a lot of things you will be remembered for, and that you are remembered for. Well, here, Mom, you start, and we can maybe us three share. We can end it with that. And maybe as everyone watches this, you can comment.
Babysitting, I've been babysitting her.
Raising children is definitely going to
That's all I've done.
I think too, on your birthday, you get whatever cake you want, and she'll make it.
And if I wanted something, Daddy always found it somewhere that I even didn't think nothing of it. I say I wanted it. I
He
forget
found a
about
way.
it, and then he found it. He always did. Yeah. Well, him and my mama used to work together.
Yeah. All right, Mom. What would you say? Pick 3 things.
Well, like I said, making cakes on her birthday.
So making people feel special.
That's true. And let's see, just always being there, regardless of what you have to say to her. She, will find a way to say, it's going to be all right, and give you some comfort.
Hopi?
She's always trying to be like the mediator between everybody. She just wants everyone to be happy. Always trying to keep everyone as happy as
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. There's no problem.
Nope.
Everything's all right. No matter how bad they're being, everything's all right. I took a picture yesterday of Lucas running up to give you a hug. And here your arms are out like this. Your arms are wide open, waiting for him. And I think if there's a picture of you that to describe you, it's that. Arms wide open to receive, and to give, and to welcome with love and generosity and kindness, and I think that's one of the high traits that I aspire to glean from you and to represent, and just that openness, an open heart, an open acceptance to everyone, and dogs included, everybody, and that's really
Strays included.
yeah, stray kids, stray dogs. I don't know. Anybody else want to say anything else?
We got a long. You told Mom. Oh.
You're going to be famous.
Oh boy.
We're going to be a YouTube sensation. Well, we can think more about some of your personal experiences that especially touched your heart, but I think we got
I think you got a good deal.
I think we got a lot of information out of you.
Yeah, I guess you did.
Well, thanks for participating, and I think this was really fun.
It was.
To take a little trip down memory lane with someone who's been here since 1930. So that's a long, beautiful life.
I know.
And to think that there's generations of people who love and learn from who you are.
We got a new generation starting, Roger.
Yeah. The grandkids' kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabe and Lucas to
That's
share
right.
this
That's right. Yeah.
with you is really special. And to know Roger gets to hear about Roger saying "MawMaw mocha and ice cream." I think
Thumbs it up.
wraps it up, Well, praise God. Well, thank you, MawMaw. We love you. All right. Well, we're gonna end this, and if you think of any other questions before
Now
tomorrow,
we gotta relax so we can go sleep.
yeah, it's time for our dessert. All right.
That was really neat. That was something though.